Hey, welcome back to Level 6 Math. I'm Mr. C, and today we're looking at Saxon Math Lesson 111. This is an awesome lesson because this is where we start to apply everything we've learned this year into things that actually matter. Now, I know we've been doing some of that all along the way, but a lot of the times we're just using examples like dice that we're not going to use in the real world. Today we're going to use these, all right? So we're going to take our division applications using division, and we're going to look at real world problems. So for today's lesson, I'm just going to take you through a bunch of different scenarios and we're going to solve, okay? So when a division problem has a remainder, we can mark that really in three ways. We can say it has a remainder of whatever number. We can say a remainder is a fraction, or we can use a decimal. Now in the real world, you'll most likely use a decimal if you're being exact, or you'll round depending on the type of the problem. And that's what we'll work through today. So it depends on the question being answered. In real world applications, sometimes we need to round an answer up, sometimes we need to round an answer down. The quotient of 15 divided by 4 rounds up to 4, or it can round down to 3. And there's many instances where you actually want to round down, even if it's 3.75, like the case here. Sometimes you're going to round that down depending on the question being asked. So today's lesson is so fun because we actually get to think about what matters, okay? So let's start with this one. There's 100 students being assigned to 33 classrooms. We know 100 divided by 3 is 33 1/3. You should know that now with your math facts. How many students should be in each class? Well, we can't have a third of a student in a class, so we have to think about this logically. If it's 33 1/3, how do we break that up into 3 groups? Well, it's pretty easy. If we look at 33 in each classroom, we'll just have one left over, so we put that in the classroom, and we have 33, 33, and 34. That's the best way to divide up 100 students into 3 classrooms. So we're going to round 2 of them down and 1 of them up, because that's how we're going to have an even number of students. We're not going to divide a student in half and cut them in half and put one arm in one room and one arm in the... No. We like to keep our students all the way together. So we have 33, 33, and 34. Let's look at this one. A matinee movie ticket costs $8. That's not a very good deal. You should be going to a matinee for about $5.50 or $6. All right, Jim has 30 bucks. How many tickets can he buy? Well, how many times can 8 go into 30? We know 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. If he's only got 30 bucks, he can't buy 4, even though it's closer to 4 tickets than 3 tickets. We're going to have to round down on this one. So if we take our $30 divided by $8, we get 3 3/4, or 3.75, or 3 remainder 3. But can we get 4 tickets with that? No, because we'll be over budget. So this one is one of the ones where even though we're closer to the 4, we're going to have to round down and say 3 tickets. Okay? Let's look at this. 15 children need a ride to the fair. Oh, good. They get to go to the fair. Very nice. Each car can transport 4 children. How many cars are needed to transport 15 children? Well, let's think about this logically. If we can do 4 in 1, so that means if we had 4 cars, we could do 16. Can we fit 15 into a capacity of 16? Yeah, we can. So with 4 cars, we could. If we had 3 cars doing 4, then we could only transport 12 of them, and we'd have 3 left over, so that's not going to work. So we're going to have to do 4 here. So if we set up our division problem, 15 children divided by 4 children per car, then we just get 15 divided by 4, which leaves us with 3 3/4 cars. This time, we have extra capacity, so we can actually round up to 4 cars. Now, simply looking at it as a math problem, that might confuse you on, should I round up or should I round down? You have to think back to the question. Okay, if it's 4 children per car, and I've got 4 cars, 4 times 4 is 16. Can I fit 16 kids in? Yeah, I only need 15. Will that work? Yes. All right, so that's how you're checking your work here, is you're looking at it logically. Does this work? Does this make sense? Dale, nice name, Dale. Not a lot of Dales around today. Dale cut a 10-foot board into 4 equal lengths. How long was each board? Now, if we're just looking at the length of each board, this is one we probably won't have to round at all. We can just divide 10 by 4, and we know if we divide 10 and a half, that's 5, and 5 and a half is 2 and a half. So without even writing this out, we know the answer is 2 and a half, or 2.5 feet, right? Or 2.5 feet. So we can just take our 10 feet, divide by 4, we get 2 2/4, or we simplify that, reduce it to 2.5 feet. Pretty easy on that one. All right. Last one here. Kimberly's on the school swim team. Way to go, Kim. At practice, she swam 50-meter freestyle 3 times. Her times were way faster than Mr. C's. She got 37.53, 36.9, and 36.63. What was the mean of her 3? Remember, mean means average. So what was the average of her 3 times? Well, we've done this a bunch of times before. We just need to add them up and divide by the total number, 1, 2, 3. So we're just going to add them up, divide by 3. So we add them up, keep that decimal lined up. We get 111.06, divide that by 3, and we get her mean time, or her average time, of 37.02. Do we need to round that up or down? No, unless someone's asking, what's her average time to the nearest second? Then we'd say 37 seconds. But really, it's just saying, what's the average? 37.02. We want to be exact here. Obviously, her times are exact. And are we going to round to the nearest thousandth? No, because here they're just rounding to the nearest hundredth. So let's stay consistent with how we're putting our answers. And that's it, 37.02. That's our whole lesson for today. This is an awesome lesson. You're going to enjoy it because it's real problems that you're going to continue to use for the rest of your life. So have fun with the homework. Bye-bye.